Yes, sir. It's your boy B Hayes. We back with another one, guys. If you can't take the pain, you don't deserve the gain. So AMC, we sitting at $30.16 at time of this recording, guys. In our previous videos, you know we expecting after running up, hitting resistance, which we did on today, basically going ahead and filling in the gaps so it can now make its next move on what it's destined to do. So let's go ahead and talk about that. We expect it to run up, make that gap fill to around $32.35. That's the exact resistance. We ran up to 32.22 on the day, so they went ran up all the way to it. It was just a few cents off, but like I say, we know it don't necessarily have to be exactly on the spot for for that scenario to play into action. So I do believe that gap fill was filled today when we ran up like we did. And now how I told you guys in the previous videos, we could kind of judge on how the stock can do going into the next day by how it closed. It's not always going to give you a explanation on how it's going to play out, but it's kind of a little small little factor. So we ended the day at $30.16. That's basically near the bottom. If we look at the chart, that's near support area and not resistance. If we would have closed up near $32 and some change, near or above resistance, that would have gave us an easy indication that we're ready to easily break through it tomorrow and continue to run up. But closing near support, that give you an indication that you're ready to break down and come back down in price action. So with that being said, you already know after running up to that resistance at 32, we expect it to then start to decline. After breaking under $28.45, that's when the power drop will happen. We will fall right back down to that $25-26 range and work our way to the low 20s before actually having the real reversal, guys. Like I did is think like this run up that we've been having was a bull trap, just to trap more investors in before having the actual fall. And we seen the comments on the last video, some people saying they thinking I'm a bear because I prepare you guys for the downward side. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope AMC continue to run up and we don't go back to those levels. But my job is to prepare the people for price action like that. So when it do happen, you don't be looking crazy in the face like, dang, what's going on? Oh, you'll be looking like, oh, B Hayes prepared us for, we knew we would come down to these levels. So that's all that is, guys. And nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. There's no guarantees. I'm just this random little guy just letting you guys know what I think. So understand that. So now let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's take a look at Biden and what he got going on, because we know on today Biden was announcing on Tuesday his little speech on this new variant, this new distraction, Omicron. We know Omicron is now dominant over the previous COVID that we was experiencing, guys. And from the looks of it, and from his speech, from a summary of it, we ain't gonna go over the whole thing, but a summary of his speech, he's basically, not putting the world at fear. He's basically trying to say the people that's vaccinated can still enjoy their families for the holidays and this, that, and the third. But in the speech, I did point out to where, he said this. Well, let's go over this first before I get back to that. Basically, what he's trying to say in the speech, before I lose my train of thought, though, is if, he wants you hanging around family members that's vaccinated, like yourself. So he ain't want the vaccinated and unvaccinated hanging together. Basically trying to, start up more commotion, I believe, because people will force their families to get vaccinated. They like, dang, like we can't be together, we can't chill. It's just bringing, it's just another way to divide people, in my opinion. So let's go ahead, though. U.S. stock indexes finished sharply higher Tuesday, ending a sell-off in the past 3 sections as Biden administration vowed to shun March 2020 style lockdowns and outline plans to fight rising COVID-19 cases driven by the Omicron variant. So investors have a mix of concerns heading into the end of the year. The rise of Omicron cases could prolong the global supply chain distributions that have added to inflation. However, there are also signs that vaccine boosters offer protection against Omicron. The Biden administration said Tuesday that it is preparing to distribute 500 million free at-home COVID-19 testing kits to Americans to tackle the rising cases. So we know they'll be sending them free kits out to not everyone, but whoever go online on the website and actually say they won't want to come to their house, then they'll send it to those people. So he also said that, and basically we ain't gonna go over what he said in the speech. Basically a conclusion over all that is basically he's saying we is people is in a good position, the ones that's vaccinated, saying you can go out and do everything you was going to do before, don't be at this, that, and the third. But like I said, you know, you heard it here. Once again, we know they like to flip that switch on and off. They act as if it's something to be fearful of, and then they say, tell us not to be fearful, and then they tell you to be fearful again. So basically, what I get out of this and what he said today, he's telling everybody not to be fearful. And then another thing I wanted to point out, people was asking, is this going to be like March of 2020? Is we about to be in the same type of predicament we was in when the first COVID came out? And this is what he said about that. So the speech which came, let me summarize over it, guys, you know, because I want to just read this particular part and not go over all this unnecessary mess that don't even matter. So Biden emphasized repeatedly throughout the speech, current moment. So right here, guys, he said the other question folks are asking is, are we going back to March 2020? Basically when the first COVID came. That's the questions they were asking. That's a good question. That's why we brought this to your attention. The answer is absolutely no. No, Biden said. The president told vaccinated Americans they should feel comfortable and blase, what I was just not telling you guys, because we don't want to talk about unnecessary stuff. So basically what he's saying is, you know, we're not going back to 2020 of March. And this is dominant over that previous one, and you still telling us not to be scared. So that's what he's telling you in this one. But now come next week or a few days from now, watch how they tell you to be scared. Watch how they make it seem as if it's real bad. But right now, they acting as if it ain't. So I'm just telling you, pay attention to what's actually going on now. But that's all I got for this video. I just want to give you guys a quick update on this. And you already know what to do. Add me on Instagram. We out. I love y'all. God bless y'all. And we gone.